So this is the 2 point perspective, and it's going to begin with a straight line. So I've gotten my long ruler, and you are going to need that because the lines are, well, if you're using a bigger drawing pad than mine, my book is really small. Okay, so I may not need this ruler. So it's almost the same as the 1 point perspective, but it's has 2 points. So let's start. So let me use my dark pencil. So you just take a line. Now I'm using all the length here, and then I'm going to put 2 points, one here and one at the other side, because now we're on to 2 point perspective. So I still have to find my middle point. So we still have to calculate to 15 divided by 2. It's going to give us 7.5. 7.5. So at that point, you draw a line. Just make it faint, but you draw a line. You can draw it upwards, downwards. So we'll just first of all go over uh, what it looks like, how it's manifested in drawings, and then we'll try to draw something with it. All right, so just like we practice boxes the first time, we are going to do the same thing and practice drawing a box. So I've created this line, and I'm going to draw me market points on the line. Let me just mark several points, but I'm going to work with these two here. So what you do, you just put your ruler back on that vanishing, on that horizon line. Sorry, I'm mixing up the words, and then join it to this vanishing point here. Go to the lower line from the horizon line, join to that vanishing point. H line, V line, H for horizon, V for vanishing. So horizon line, vanishing lines. Now, what you do, just extend that line a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. So go to the next point. Go over it, yeah, like that. The next one below. Go over it. So there's a crossing. So if you look carefully, I already have a line extending here. I can decide to explore it and create my cube. And then join it back. So you see, I already have a cube. So let me join the line here. bring it downwards. These two lines must be horizontal to each other. If not, to look off. All right, that's great. So it will look off if we don't follow the lines. They must be parallel to each other. So now I've already created my cube now from a 2-point perspective. Okay. And let's draw this box upward. So I come to this point again at the top. I'm going to draw from here to here. Let me extend it a little bit. Back again to the horizon line. Let me put a point here. Then I draw the line again to the dot, extend a little bit. Take this one back here. And join from here to here. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a line and draw the same line. Let me erase this one slightly. So if you can look at it carefully, what does it look like to you? It's still the shape of a box. I think it is, I may say it's easier than the 1 point, but if you see now, I have what looks like a box, but also what like a straight corner. You get? Now we can extend this upward. Let's take it upward. Take this line upward too. So if you look carefully, we're actually kind of creating boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes. Hmm? So taking the form shape of this middle point, I just join that point to this point. I can decide to leave it like this from this point to that, from the horizon line to the vanishing point. This point too can be extended. So if we're to draw something else with these extended lines, you just create something else out of that place. So let me draw my boxes, because first of all we practice with boxes. These lines must always align together. If you are not sure, just move your ruler excuse me, over the top, move it. So you see I have one box. This one is facing this direction. This one here is facing this direction. So this is a 2-point uh, perspective, and we can now build on it, and then we'll go to the 3-point perspective. So what you have here is that we have 2 points on the horizon line, and then we have a middle point where we draw our vanishing lines to cross over it. All right. Okay, so I'm still going to start with what I call a canvas, just a small box to keep everything within a space. So I'm going to draw what my horizon line, my 2 points, 13, 6.5. I'm just getting all numbers today. So I draw my lines, draw it down, downwards, upwards. So what am I going to do? I'm going to draw my lines around, several lines from the vanishing line to the horizon line. Okay, no, it's not correct. Like that. So I'm going to extend it, because that extension will help me click when I'm coming from this side of the horizon line. So I'm going to just draw an extension. All right. So I'm going to join this other side. So I'm going to do the same for below. Okay, so let's work with what we have here first. We'll make another canvas and then we'll draw a different arrangement. So from here, if you can look at it carefully, we already have what they call a high-rise building. And just like everything becomes smaller as you move towards the horizon line, you can see now I'm drawing lines, and these lines are becoming shorter compared to what is here. Let us say this is a business street. I'm going to highlight the lines at different points to give the idea of So let's say I want to add a building or a window to this building. What do I do? You simply let me make my let me leave the street. All right. So we simply take the vanishing line, take it up a little bit, draw a line, light line. Now I'm going to draw lines to indicate what windows. Let's say these are glass windows. These windows are going to become smaller as we go down the street. Let me draw another building. So you can see now this guy has, let's just say, one major building or window here. Can we see? So now we have to find out how long the building goes. Now you can decide to draw it way back and say, okay, this building complex extends from here to that point. And it's possible. But I just want to reduce mine to this point. And let's say I want to put a door. So you take your ruler and decide how high that door is going to be. Well, no matter how big a building is, the doors are still always going to be small. So back to the horizon line. Two dots. Maybe we wanted to find let's give it a name. Maybe the business name of the company is in front. Let's say toys. Let's just say toys. So those alphabets will be from are going to show that from the smallest, the T is going to be the smallest. O getting bigger. Y extending higher. And of course the S will be the biggest. Why? Objects that are far away are smaller than those that are close by. So you get the idea. So the horizon connecting with the vanishing lines help to give a better direction, an idea of how the building should look. It all depends on where you are standing. So this building here now, it doesn't have a background. So I want to give it the backline. So you take the ruler back to the horizon line, that dot, and then draw it backwards. So now you see that we now have an extension of this building from the front to the back. So this is what the 2-point perspective does for you. Remember that we are, even for planning towns and all those things, architects make use of all these kind of drawings. You must always show the people that are who have employed you to create a plan of buildings for an area, what it will look like in different perspectives, so that they have an idea of how the buildings are going to occupy that plot of land. So this is just one aspect. So we can still extend this building now or create another building. If there's a side now, we just leave that gap, draw another building, come down, draw another one, like that. So you can draw several. This one, now let's make it a little bit smaller. Now, because of the spaces, we are going to have to what? Extend the buildings backwards. So you put your ruler back at the other point at your horizon line. Draw it till it gets to that building. Yes. So you have your, so it is above that line. Let me just elevate. Or you can still leave it. Oh, mistakes are part of, you understand? So now my top of that building now has some kind of design on it, which was unintentional. So let me also extend this building. So I take it back to this point, from this point, and draw it till it touches the other building. There's already a horizon line cutting through that building, so I can just with that line draw a door. Okay. All right. So let's quickly go over to the 3-point perspective. So here you have your horizon line, your 2 points, and a third point. All right, still determining the middle point. 13.5 divided by 2. Now we have to do math. So that's 6.75. Let me open up my canvas. I'm going to need that point. So still drawing a line. At that middle point. Connect at a dot. Bring almost like the 2 points, but now we're using 3 points. So now you choose the second point below. Extend that line downwards. So I'm using 3 cm so that I can just be accurate. So let me take a lower point, a third point, and then you join from this point up here to that point. From this point up here to that point. You see it? But because here already this line cuts through this lower point, this will be the end of our building. It's a box too. You still make a box, but we have already been making boxes. So you see. So what does 3 point perspective do for you? It actually creates the view from up or beneath the drawing. Maybe you want to draw from on top of a building. So you can get that done with a 3 point perspective. So from this point, I'm going to join it to the what horizon line. So from this point, move to the horizon line, draw it. This point here, and move to the horizon line at the other side, at the left hand side. So now we already have the points where the building or the box, let's just call it a building because that's the foundation for that building now, from the top of a building. So do you see what it looks like? So from here we can begin to make really interesting drawings. Now I want to draw a road and attach it to this place. And now you can draw. I'm just not good at drawing this where it goes to the, I used to try before, but let's just draw an object and imagine that it's a car. And so as usual, small dots that increase and amplify as they get closer. So here are some examples. Just pause the video and take a look at the pictures and study them. All right.